Apologize for the technical difficulties. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center here in the campus of Southern Nazarene University. Alex Friedman here with Tanner Stiles. Game 1 of 2 today. The first one featuring Harding and Northern State. It has been all Harding. They lead 49-42. They had gone on a 12-0 run in the span of a little over 2 minutes to make it a 20-point lead. It's now at 17. Tim Wagner hitting the second of 2 free throws as Wagner leading all scores with 25 points today.
4 for 7 from three-point range. I mean, Wagner's done it all, putting the ball on the floor and scoring inside as well as knocking them down from 3.
Pollard has the 3 rim out, tipped around, and eventually Francis controls for the Bisons. Eggleston near the corner to Francis, looking to get it inside Andelkovic. He was held by Dahl. Dahl picks up his first, the team's third. And it just seems everything Harding has done today has worked. Northern State struggling to consistently get stops on the defensive end. Andelkovic in the middle. Advantage over Elliott. Elliott able to hold his ground and eventually comes away with a rebound off the miss.
Yeah, Harding coming out of the half, 8 of 12 to start the second half, shooting from the field as we see Smith once again battling inside for an offensive rebound and getting fouled. We talked about at halftime as well, Smith being the only bright spot for this Northern State team, now up to 7 rebounds for the little guy.
Yeah, he didn't have a ton of time last night due to foul trouble, but really showing us something here today and what his game is all about. So Ian Smith leading the Wolves with 14, now make it 15 points today, the only double-figure score for Northern State. Mankin is coming in for the first, to replace Eggleston. Smith hits both. Last year, Northern State trailed by as many as 7 in the second half against Harding. We're pulling off a 17-3 run that gave them control of the game. Wagner with the dish for Andelkovic, missed it, and there's another rebound by Smith. Smith, though, just took his eye off it and lost it, and then a foul committed by the Wolves.
Yeah, after 9 first half turnovers, make it 5 now for NSU to start the second half. 14 total on the game here for the Wolves.
Smith just got his 3rd foul. Gabe King will come in. That is a 16-point lead for the Bisons at 60-44. Mankin left block guarded by Doyle, goes to his left side to use the right hand and puts it in off the glass.
You know, Doyle didn't really have much to do on that. You know, he understands that he's got 3 fouls and doesn't want to pick up that 4th on a stupid decision there. So we'll see if Harding keeps attacking inside.
Arvidsson fires up a 3 and got fouled. Wow, an impressive shot by Arvidsson, who let it go, took the contact, and it somehow went in. And maybe that's the play that sparks Northern State.
Absolutely. Arvidsson 5 for 8 in yesterday's ball game, and now 3 for 8 in this one as he misses the free throw. We'll see if they can, that momentum there can kind of carry on to the defensive side here for Northern State.
Now, every time the Bisons, there's been a little bit of a momentum for Northern State. They have been able to answer, see what they do on this possession. Mankin on the left side to Wagner. Got fouled by Elliott.
Can already tell that this could be a half where a lot of free throws go up for both sides now, as that's the fifth team foul there for Northern State, and Harding's got 4 here, and we're not even halfway through this second half yet.
Andelkovic 17 feet away from the basket, driving in, bounce pass to Mankin. Mankin open from the corner, missed it, and the rebound by Elliott on the weak side. Elliott leaves it for King. Now Arvidsson thought about a deep 3, but held on to it. Maybe back to Elliott, approaching 12 minutes to go. Elliott picked up his dribble at the elbow, off to Arvidsson, gets off a 3, off the front of the rim, tipped around, still loose near half court. Wagner trying to dive for it near the sideline, and it's out of bounds back to the Wolves.
It's a wild sequence there as Harding's going to come out of that on the wrong end of the stick there, but nonetheless, diving for loose balls, that's something both coaches have got to be happy with early on in this season.
Phil and Medjo is back in for Harding, as is Eggleston. A bit of a smaller lineup on the court for Harding. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Smith didn't get the rebound, but he tipped it and kept it alive to Elliott as he continues his great work on the glass. 62-47. Smith will now step out, try a three, rims out, tipped and eventually grabbed by Mencken. Mencken left side of the basket, seals off his defender. Shot off the front of the rim and the Wolves clear it. Pollard stops right of the circle. Now it's Smith on the left side. Foul away from the ball. It's going to be on the Bisons. I believe it is Wagner. We've got a timeout on the floor with 11:19 remaining. Harding leading by 15 at 62-47. This is SNUathletics.com. $11:19 remaining. Harding's got a 62-47 lead. Wolves with the ball and inbounding underneath the basket. Smith to the right. Into Arvidsson, who traveled on receiving it, and a turnover by Northern State.
See if someone other than Arvidsson and Smith can maybe get something going here for the Wolves. After those two, the next leading scorer is Pollard with 5. You know, we saw Doyle come off the bench yesterday and pick up 13 points, but, you know, we've seen the foul trouble plague him for not scoring this afternoon. So we'll see if the Wolves can get somebody else to step up and chip in away at this 15-point lead for Harding.
With 9 on the shot clock, the elbow jumper from Wagner is no good, and Smith with yet another rebound. He's approaching a double-double today. Pollard left the three short. Doyle tried to save it. It goes out of bounds.
Really more so impressive. Harding able to boost this run with Medjo on the bench. Now Medjo back in the game with the ball here. 13 points, and it's really just been Wagner. He's put on an absolute clinic this afternoon.
Now he took his eye off the ball there, and Smith diving for it, saved it from going out of bounds. Northern State thought there should have been a foul. Now Wagner to the hole, bumped by Smith. He'll be called for the block and the count the basket. Bit of continuation there. Ian Smith just got his 4th foul, and now a technical assessed to Northern State coach Paul Sather. We're getting close to 10 minutes to go in this half, and Harding really threatening to put this game away.
I think Smith there was just too far in the arc there. He was in the right position, but, you know, they've just implemented that new arc in the paint there a couple years back.
So I believe it looks like they're going to have Wagner shoot the technical free throws, and then he will also have one more free throw after that, as he could reached 30 points on the strip to the free throw line.
Yeah, I believe the head coach for Northern State, Paul Sather, 2 technical fouls received, and he is no longer on the bench over there for the Wolves.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He got 2 technicals. He has been ejected from this game. Wagner has made now 3 free throws. This will be the 4th and final of the technical free throws, and now they'll have 1 more with everybody back on the block. "31 points for Tim Wagner. Talk about an instant impact as he is up to wait on the result of the free throw. So 32 today, 22 yesterday, 54 points here in the first 2 games of the season.
And I know SNU head coach Adam Bohosh, he's sitting over there watching right now, and I can already tell you that he's already thinking of ways that he can slow this guy down when Harding plays Southern Nazarene later in the season.
Oh, what a move by DJ Pollard, who elevates to the basket and throws it down and gets fouled.
That's one way to do it, Alex. You can go around people, you can go to the side of them, and you can go over the top of them, as we saw Pollard do there. What an impressive move there.
He really elevated the 6'4" junior from St. Louis Park, Minnesota. The foul was on Wagner, his 3rd. Sorting some things out now at the scores table. So, yeah, Northern State head coach Paul Sather has been ejected. His assistants are Sundance Wicks and Brad Christensen.
I believe they changed that foul there to Eggleston instead of Wagner, so that will benefit Harding now, as Wagner doesn't have to worry about that 3rd foul here just midway through the second half.
Pollard completes the 3-point play, but still a 19-point lead for Harding. Wagner out to Medjo. You can see Northern State, maybe a little bit energy injected after that 3-point play. Wagner missed, but it came right to Mencken, who lays it in. That's got to be a bit of a backbreaker for Northern State.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, Alex. I mean, that's just everything has gone right for Harding this game. Every time that Northern State has scored, Harding has had an answer. It's just been one of those afternoons for Harding.
Pump fake by Elliott. Nice move to get to the hole, but couldn't finish, and Mencken with the rebound. 71-50, and now a 21-point lead for the Bisons. Wagner dishing to Eggleston, blocked from behind, and the shot altered by King. Able to recover on defense. Now King's got it off the offensive end. Working around the perimeter, Arvidsson thought about a long 3. He'll take 1 dribble, now fire it up. Can't hit, though. Eggleston battling for the board with Pollard, and around by Harding.
For that miss now, NSU 5 for 24 on the ball game from 3-point range, and I know they're going to need to knock some more down if they want to get back into this ball give someone can give them a spark, as we see Smith ready to check back in over there for the Wolves.
Francis for 3 hits. It is a 24-point lead for Harding, and they're shooting close to 50% from 3-point range, in stark contrast from what Northern State has done. Bison's now 8 of 17. Doyle elevates on the block over Francis. No, Pollard had it and then stripped by Francis and taken away by Mencken. Eight minutes left in this game. It is a 24-point lead. Mencken gives it up to Wagner, now to Medjo. Francis, another 3. Their top returning scorer, who had been really quiet these first 2 games, and now he's starting to get it going. It is a 27-point lead, as they're now at an even 50% from 3.
Yeah, Francis 3 for 3, as you said, after having a pretty quiet first half, and this thing is just starting to get out of hand here for the Wolves.
Already 36 points in the half for the Bisons. Nice move to the rim by Arvidsson. 77-52. Northern State getting ready for a few substitutions. Wagner kicks it to an open. Francis tries another, and he hits it again. 3 straight three-pointers made by Francis. And Harding wants a timeout. Coach Jeff Morgan will call a timeout even with his team now up by 28, 7:07 remaining. This is MECU. Let's try that a third time. SNUathletics.com. (52-80) as the Bisons have opened up a 28-point lead. Will Francis, their leading returning scorer, has been red hot of late. Arvidsson's got it in the near corner to Smith. Pollard had that impressive and one a few minutes ago. Has it now back out to Arvidsson. Smith to the basket, up and under, lays it in.
Smith continuing his great night for the Wolves. 18 points now for him and 9 rebounds.
A tremendous game for the point guard for the Wolves. Francis directing traffic in front of his bench. Gets a screen from Andelkovic. Mankin driving the baseline and ended up shuffling his feet. He'll have
just the second turnover of the half for Harding. They had 8 in the first half, but after that, really those first 5 minutes of the game, they've done a great job of kind of settling down and getting things under control.
Evans gets it, fouled, and count the basket.
It's got to be good for the big man to see that go in. Evans has had a quiet first half there due to foul trouble. 16 points, 7 rebounds yesterday. Now 6 points and 2 rebounds for him.
Still a 24-point lead in Northern State. If they can't erase this big deficit, still trying to finish on a high note. Their next game is coming up on Tuesday at home against Southwest Minnesota State. Medjo to the basket, gets free and lays it in. Medjo's got 15. It's 82-56. And Harding in good position to avoid going 0-2 in this event for the second straight year. Foul away from the ball, an offensive foul. Illegal screen has been called.
I believe that was on Decker, and that'll be his 5th foul, so his afternoon is done here in the Sawyer Center.
And Justin Decker fouls out with just 2 points today. Sophomores had a medical red shirt last year, done after just 4 games. Now Decker out, 17 fouls on each side here in this half. 5.5 minutes to go. Francis across to Mankin. Mankin with the 3, and Harding just staying red hot from a 3-point range.
6 of 9 for the half for Harding from 3-point range.
Dahl misses long on the answer, but Evans with an uncontested putback.
And Harding has just gotten anything and everything they've wanted on the offensive end of the court in both halves.
Offensive foul. Medjo called for the push-off. We reached 5 minutes even. It's a 27-point lead for Harding at 87-58.
And that's the 4th personal on Medjo. And here under 5 minutes to go, 27-point lead. We'll see if that ends up making a difference in the game.
Pollard's three, no good, but there's Evans with a rebound. Evans traveled. Or no, that's a foul on the Bisons. Now Wagner getting his third. Chase Evans did not play much in the first half, got 2 quick fouls. Made all 4 of his shots from the floor today. And yesterday, Evans was 8 of 11 from the floor. Misses the free throw and knocked out of bounds by Smith.
Now Harding shooting 60% from the field in this second half. It's just been, if you're Northern State, and they're really on some of these shots. I mean, they're contested. They're just, it's one of those afternoons, like I said earlier, for Harding.
Medjo taking it back out, working against Smith. Adelkovic from deep, no good. And Medjo just picked up his 5th foul. Medjo will foul out with 15 points today on 6 of 8 shooting. Also had 4 rebounds. That's a little bit easier for Coach Jeff Morgan to deal with, though, by leading by 27 with 4:24 to go.
Yeah, Medjo will check out, as you said, just made his impact. 6 of 8 from the field. 3 assists to go along with 4 rebounds. And him and Wagner have just really controlled that front court here for the Bisons.
Ian Smith adding to his point total. And now he's got himself a 20-point game. 85-60 with the Bisons controlling. We approach 4 minutes to go in this game. Harding's next game, conference action Thursday at home against Northwestern Oklahoma State. Foul away from the ball. That'll be on Evans. Evans with his 3rd. And Doyle will come in and replace him.
So this Harding team, if that, barring something I've never seen on a 25-point lead, 4 minutes to go, but they're going to move to 1-1 on the season. Last year in the GAC, I mean, they were 20-11 last season, 17-5 in the GAC. And seeing them early on in this season, I know it's early, but you can already tell that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the GAC this season.
And they got really hot near the end of the season, won 7 straight going into the GAC tournament final where they lost. There's the 3-pointer missed by Elliott. Doyle goes back up and is able to get it to go. Northern State, they have finished second in their division in the Northern Sun Conference last 2 years, each year behind Minnesota State Moorhead, who will play next against Southern Nazarene. They are picked 3rd in their division this year and 7th overall in the preseason poll. Wagner goes to the hole, lays it in, up to 34 points.
I mean, that's pretty much been the storyline all afternoon. Wagner getting in the paint and pretty much doing whatever he wants to.
Smith, wild circus shot, almost got it to go, but Francis comes away with a rebound for Harding. Under 3 minutes left in this game and a 26-point lead for the Bisons. They've scored 47 points in the half. Eggleston's going to make it 50. Badly missed, didn't hit the rim, so no reset of the shot clock. Down to 4. Wagner realizes it, fires, almost hit it. Now loose, and Smith comes up with it. It's his 10th rebound today. He'll have a double-double. Nice move to the basket by Alley, didn't finish. Then Doyle on the second chance gets fouled. We'll have a timeout on the floor with 2:30 remaining. It is an 88-62 lead for Harding. This is SNUathletics.com. Well, 2.5 minutes to go in this one, and it's all Harding today, 88-62. They led 41-30 at half and really took control of this game with a 12-0 run in the early stage of the second half that pushed it out to a 20-point lead. Now Doyle hits both free throws, 7 points off the bench, or 8 points, excuse me now. So coming up, again, after the conclusion of this game, we'll have SNU taking on Minnesota State Moorhead. And Tanner, you're very familiar with the Crimson Storm. Some things that you think are going to be key, which I would say to pull off an upset. It's a very good Minnesota State Moorhead team they're going to face here coming up in a little bit. Oh,
I mean, one of the biggest things, you got to ask of early on in the season is just try to limit turnovers. You see the missed three there, and Harding corrals it. Turnovers really, it's early stages of the season when you're playing tough teams, just taking care of the ball is the most important thing, and just continuing to run your sets, and shots don't fall. You can change it up a little bit, but taking care of the ball is the most important thing. So we'll see if SNU will be able to do that. They got a lot of returning starters from last season, a lot of returning players. So head coach Adam Bohaj is looking forward to a great season. So we'll see if they can get it done here. Coming up next.
Andolkovich with the rebound. We're going to have a substitution timeout for Harding as they will empty the bench, leading by 27 with 1:27 to go. Now, of course, this is not the desired result for Northern State, but they will leave this tournament going 1-1. And yesterday picking up an impressive win, essentially a road win in front of a big crowd on homecoming here at SNU in a very tight ball game, and able to knock off the Crimson Storm. Today just was not their day. And Harding also going to leave here at 1-1 as well. There's tipping everyone around the NCAA ranks, Divisions 1, 2, and 3, tipping things off this weekend. Ball is turned over, and Braxton Elliott will take it to the basket. Now under a minute to go and a 91-66 lead for Harding today. This is Mitchell Kirby in the game for the first time. Horns got it on the right side. Djokovic, bounce pass inside to J.P. Brandon, able to get the turnaround to go off the glass. Just a big shooting half for the Bisons. 19 of 33 from the floor this half. Elliott hits a three-pointer as we've got 24 seconds left and it's 93-69. Wagner, the lone regular, still in the game for Harding. He was the big player today, 34 points for the Bisons. Certainly, again, as you mentioned, Tanner, earlier, Crimson Storm will have to face Harding twice, and they will have to find a way to try and solve Tim Wagner as Harding wins it by a final score of 93-69 here at the Sawyer Center. So Harding and Northern State each going 1-1 in the GAC NSIC Crown Plaza Classic here at SNU. Back with a final look at the numbers in a moment. This is SNUathletics.com. SNU and Minnesota State Moorhead out on the floor for warm-ups. Our final score from Game 1, it was all Harding routing Northern State 93-69, a game in which Harding led by 11 at halftime, put up 52 points in the second half, shot at 58% in the half, including over 50% from three-point range. They won 12 of 24 from three-point range, 54% overall. Northern State, 37.9% shooting overall, struggled from deep, just 6 of 29. On the glass, it ended up being a +9 margin for Northern State at 39-30. Turnovers slightly a little bit more for Northern State, 17-13. Individually, Tim Wagner leading the way with 34 points today. He finishes with 56 points in these two games here at the Sawyer Center. Other double-figure scores. Philip Medjo at 15, and Will Francis, who was 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, finished with 14 on the day. An impressive game for Ian Smith of Northern State. The point guard had 20 points and 10 rebounds as he gets the double-double. Only other double-figure score was Mac Arvidsson, 13 points on the day for the shooting guard. As really outside of those two, just not a whole lot going on offensively. They're bigs. Both Logan Doyle and Chase Evans, they combined for 29 points yesterday, just 16 today. They both had foul trouble in the first half and never really just got on track. So both teams have finished here at 1-1. Tanner, your final thoughts on this game we just witnessed?
Yeah, we talked about the low shooting percentage for Northern State, although some of those shots, were a little questionable, but you really got to give credit to Harding's defense. I mean, they came out and they played to their game plan. What they're always accustomed to is really gritty, hard-nosed defense. They get down a man defense and they make you shoot a shot over a contested hand. So they did a good job of keeping NSU in check, and NSU was able to get to the free throw line, as we talked about quite a bit yesterday, but not able to do that in this ball game today. So, like I said earlier, head coach Adam Bohash will have his hands full when they face Harding a couple of times this season. So it'll be interesting to see how those matchups fare out. But all in all, it was just a dominating performance today by Harding.
Coach Bohash's squad also going to have their hands full coming up here a little bit against Minnesota State Moorhead. They beat Harding yesterday, a team that has won at least 30 games in back-to-back seasons. We'll have the coverage coming up in a little bit. Keep it right here to SNUathletics.com.